All right, we're back. Hopefully you have your starter done, which you probably don't because these videos are just a couple hours apart because I've got to get this shit done. So here's the lineup: scale, flour, starter, and then you're going to need water. Pretty simple. Starter, flour, water, scale. So some of you may not know what or how to use a scale, and that's okay. You don't need to know everything. So I'm going to use my 2-cup deal here. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to switch the fucking camera. I guess not. Okay. Your scale. You'll see I'm on grams. You'll see it reads 29. Now I'm going to use this 2-cup. I'm going to sit it down. Now I've got 662 grams. All right. You'll have a mode, and that usually on your scale is for pounds, ounces, kilograms, things like that, milliliters. You're going to want grams. All right? Fucking grams. You have on and tar, which I don't. All I know is that when you do this, it's going to zero it out. Now it's accounting for the weight here. Okay? So now we're at 0. For this, I'm making 2 loaves. Okay? Not 1, 2. 2. So, here's your recipe. Get your pencil, your paper. Get the shit out. Get yourself a notebook, whatever, and start writing it down. I'll wait. You take forever, dude. Do you have your shit? Probably not. I'm waiting. Go ahead. Whatever. Take your time. It's not like anybody else has anything else to do. All right, you have it? Good. Here we go. Starter. I want 200 grams of starter. Now, remember what it looked like in the last video? That's what it looks like now. Actively degassing itself. It's risen all the way to the top. You can really see this bubble freaking out. Okay? 200 grams of that. So essentially, if you break that down and you're good at math or you're shitty at math, that's 100 grams of active starter per loaf. So I need 200 grams of active starter. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to spoon this shit right into this thing. It's now turned off because I ran my goddamn jabberjaws too long. Make sure it's okay. It's all zeroed out. 200 grams. Here we go. If you overshoot the mark, it's fine. Which I did by 17 grams. Not rocket science, people. This isn't fucking SpaceX. All right? Freak out. That 17 grams of extra starter isn't going to blow your situation. Now, I want to show you something. That's 200 grams of starter. This is how much I have left. And I am either going to have to bake with that, make it go dormant, or throw that shit out. Because at this point, to feed that, I'm going to need to feed it over 2/3 a cup of flour, and then I'm going to have far too much. Okay? No, I'm not giving it to you. All right, now I'm going to put the lid back on this thing and not this fucking canvas rubber thing. Rubber top. And it's going back in the fridge. Mary, get out of the... You don't even have thumbs. She doesn't bake bread either. Okay, 200 grams of starter. Follow me over here. Okay, here I think is where things started changing for me as far as making sourdough, because I was doing everything by hand. Fuck all that. KitchenAid. It's Molly's. No, I don't own a Robin's Egg Blue KitchenAid, all right? However, if somebody wants to buy me one, I'll use that sumbitch if it's hot pink. I don't care. KitchenAid. Dough hook. dough hook. Do not use the batter paddle. Do not use the mixing paddle. Dough hook. All right, starter. In. I need to grab a spatula because it'll never come out of here the whole fucking way. So give me a second. Don't freak out. All right, just take it easy. So scoop that shit in there. Don't be, like I said, you're over on the shit, it's fine. You know, you're gonna have some left in here anyway, not a lot, but you know, do a good job of scraping. Run your spatula around the deal. If mom didn't teach you how to do that, turn it to the side, run this son of a bitch around this way. You'd be surprised at what people don't know. Get as much as you can. Okay, that's good. You're fine. I think, and this is just a personal thing, I think cooking and baking are separate situations. Baking is chemistry. Cooking is more of a liberal art form. You can take a lot more liberties with that than you can with baking. Baking has certain rules. Okay, on with that whole shenanigan list of shit. Now, water. I like my water to be right between 75 and 78 degrees. Now, you're saying, well, I didn't think you needed all these fucking tools. Well, listen. The water should feel just over cold. Not cold and definitely not hot, but it should feel like it's not as ice cold as I would want to drink it, but it's cool. Okay, that's usually right in that area. I used to put it in, it was far too hot. So for the water, and this is kind of where some math can come in if you want, and this is where the scale helps because it just works better that way. I like to run 675 grams of water. So about 67% because I'm going to use 1,000 grams of flour. Now, this is where a lot of debate comes in. 50% or 80%, then we're talking about hydration. And hydration is the amount of water that you're going to use to your flour. We're not taking into account the starter. This is strictly water to flour ratio. Okay, that's when you read it and it says, well, I like to use 68.5%. My ass. Okay, just get it close. 65 to 70, I think, from my experience, turns out the most even, the best. You can experiment with other things, and I suggest that you do. You might find that a full 70 or 73%, or if you want to get really technical, 73 and 2 tablespoons or whatever the hell it is you're going to do. I just think that between 65 and 67% is good for me. So I'm going to shoot for 650 to 675 grams of water at 75 to 77 degrees. Did you get all that written down? I'll repeat it one more time. 650 to 675 grams of water. Okay? Between 75 and 77, 78 degrees. Somewhere right in there. Okay, if you need a thermometer, use one. I do. Or don't and fuck it up and I don't care. It's your goddamn bread. It's not mine. And I'm going to weigh my water. Kind of maybe this time while we're on video, we'll take a look and see, like as a measurement, that's almost perfect, what we've got for water here at 4 cups. Okay, let's do that actually. And I need to zero this out. Make sure you zero out with your, whatever your receptacle is, for your water. Okay, otherwise you're going to screw this up. You have to also, I mean, people have gotten scientific enough to think, well, you've got to take into account the heat that will be generated from mixing your dough. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's taking it to the, like, easy nerdville. Okay, so 4 cups, just under 4 cups of water is 852 grams of water. So it's not going to be 4 cups. Let's back it off. And we are at 720 grams. And that's right at like 3 1/3 cups. So we're still heavy. Let's try it again. That's almost on the money at 3 cups, and I'm at 630. So that's probably like a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of water more will bring us up. Water gets heavy quicker than you think. Typically, I think they say that 1 gallon of water weighs 8 pounds. Not that you're going to use any of that math. It's just bullshit, fucking stupid trivia that, like a useless fountain of knowledge shit that maybe you'll want when you go play trivia and get drunk and end up face down in the gutter some night. Okay, 682. I'm going to back that off. It's just a little bit much for me. Okay, 673. There we go. So, follow me over here. Like, what the fuck else are you going to do? Follow me. It's not like you're in the house. Okay, water. Starter. Water. Pour that shit directly into the starter. All right. Now, get your mixer down. Yeah? And just put it on stir, the lowest speed. And just get that mixing. Let it go. Don't worry about it. It's just liquefying, thinning out the starter. Pretty easy. No problem. Okay, now on to flour. And for that, I think we got this towel from Aunt Irma. If you don't have an Aunt Irma towel, if you don't like Aunt Irma towels, then fuck you. Okay, pink towel, Irma towel. And let's weigh out some flour. I need 1,000 grams of flour. Again, I'm using all-purpose flour, King Arthur all-purpose flour. This son of a bitch and scale keeps turning off. I think my batteries are getting shit on me. So now I've got to start over. This is kind of important to make sure you got your shit together here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 4, 8. I like to kind of do this in twos, so like 500 grams of flour, so I know where I'm at. Okay, there's 500 grams of flour. I'm gonna go put this in. Now we need another 500 grams. Roughly about 6 cups of flour, roughly, is what you're gonna need. Yeah, roughly about 6 cups of flour. Okay. All of that goes in. Shit. Sorry about that. You guys are staring at the side of the goddamn. There you go. Okay. Nobody's perfect. Cut me some flour. Okay, now Start mixing that. Slow. Don't get fucking stupid and turn that thing on 10. Just, you'll smoke the shit out of that motor. It'll look like Eddyville drag strip down here if you do that. You'll burn this fucker up in a heartbeat. And Molly would be pissed. Okay, so here's the situation. All that starter, that water, and that flour, we're all in here working. And I'm gonna turn it down here, and I've got it on stir. I think I've got it on stir, yeah. Just on stir, and let it go. Get a spatula, you're gonna wanna maybe scoot it down a little bit, scrape that down eventually. Once this is incorporated, and gets working here, it's going to be real shaggy, and that's what shaggy looks like, okay? And if I feel like the flour is kind of dry, maybe I'll add a little bit more water. You kind of have to pay attention to what the fuck you're actually using. Like, some flour is just more dry than the shit you've used before. I'm going to stop it right here because I want to explain something to you. That doesn't seem too bad, actually. I'm going to add like a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of water. Just enough. So probably would end up being about 10 grams of water. Just enough. It just seemed a little dry to me. You'll figure that out once you baked a little bit. And I'm going to get that kind of moved back in. Just get it incorporated just a little bit. Jesus. Sounds like a crazy night in Vegas right now. And that's going to bring my hydration up a little bit. That's okay. High hydration gives you a whiter crumb. Which some people really like. I mean, that's pure desire, whatever you desire as far as that goes. So I think this is kind of where things started to change for the better for me, as far as my bread turning out every time. And what that was the KitchenAid. That's what actually helped me more than anything, I think, was the KitchenAid. I was doing everything by hand. And let me tell you, that is a pain in the ass. Like, you'll blow your shoulder out right now. You have to develop a gluten and the proteins in this shit, the gluten structure in the dough. If you do not, you will have a hell of a time moving forward, and you won't get the result you want. So here it is. Now it's you can see it's starting to pull away from the side already, and it's less shaggy. When it gets to this stage, I go to my stove, I turn the timer on, and I go 12 minutes. I start, and I'm not going to touch that thing. 12 minutes, I want it to do that on slow. By hand, it's the same. If you don't have a mixer, it's okay. It doesn't mean you can't make the shit. You just have to do it by hand, and you have to do it for at least 12 minutes, okay? But it is extremely tough, and I think your results will be far better. Mary, are their results going to be better? Yeah, probably. Results will be more consistent if you use the mixer. 12 minutes. When that's done, you turn it off and you cover it with a towel in the bowl for an hour. Okay, write that down. I'll wait. Okay, 12 minutes. Then turn it off, take the shit out, Clean up your kitchen, because this is a messy project here. Cover the dough for an hour with a towel. All right? That's all there is to it to get started. I don't think there's anything else. If you have questions, ask. I'll answer as best I can. See you next time.